Hey guys, it's been a few days since the Resident Evil 8 trailer came out. I've already done the breakdown of what I've seen in there, but today we're going to start answering the question of what the hell has happened to Chris and what could possibly be happening in his game. There's two big theories that I've kind of got here, and I'll cover some other stuff that may have been heard around the internet that seems to have been discredited by a source anyway that I'd say is more than likely correct, which is Dusk Golem. So to start off, I'm going to go through the discredited stuff because I think a lot of people have that kind of in mind, and I've mentioned it as well before because I have seen these rumours and they made a lot of sense. So we see what we assume is the new playable character, which is this new female character that looks a lot like Claire. I actually questioned if it was Claire in my breakdown, but after seeing further bits into the trailer, it doesn't seem to be a Claire character. It does seem like a new character. We refer to this character as Emily. Dusk Golem has since posted that the girl's name is not Emily and Emily does not exist, and her storyline, which was leaked, which was going to be that she is looking for her missing father, is not correct either. So with that gone out the window, we'll jump straight into Chris killing someone, and I'm going to say someone, on the floor. So, I'll get the rumours that have come out previously. We're saying, this was before the trailer, we're saying that Chris was going to break into Ethan's house alone and that he was going to kill Ethan and Mia's child because the child was mutated due to the virus that Ethan and Mia had. Dusk Golem has now said that the child is not mutated. Chris does not kill a child. So that kind of theory is kind of pushed back now. That's not apparently the reason why Chris is there. So I'm going to jump into a few of my theories, a few theories that we've seen online and stuff like that. So first of all, one of the leaks a while ago was that the new virus was airborne and caused hallucinations, just like we saw in the original designs for Resident Evil 4 with the Hookman and the ghosts and stuff like that. So my first theory, straight out there, because I do not see Chris becoming a villain without a reason. You know, he's very high and very fixed on his moral compass. We do not see there being, unless there's a threat to Claire or something like that, we do not see him killing so-called innocent people for no reason. So my first assumption is that this is actually a part of the virus and that Ethan is hallucinating Chris. And that maybe the virus has been released into his house, he starts to hallucinate, and then that's when he's taken by this cult into this village, whatever. So to me, that's the most basic one there. Now, what I find really interesting, and I'm going to go back to Dusk Golem here, because this I found really, really interesting, is about a few hours, maybe a day after the trailer came out, Dusk Golem posted this. Oh, it's not coming up. Let's quickly try and get hold of it. Sorry. There we go. Dusk Golem posted this tweet. I want a scene in Resident Evil 8 where Ethan slowly approaches a dusty mirror, wipes the dust away with his hand, and in that moment we see Redfield from RE7's face staring back at us. A few interesting things in this. So keep in mind that Dusk Golem knows a lot about these games. He's not involved with development, but he knows people are involved in development, and he does get a lot of information. So this is kind of hinting to me that he believes that Redfield, keep in mind that he doesn't say Chris Redfield, it just says Redfield, is not Chris that we know. Now, if you go and look at the character designs from the very beginning up till 5 and 6, Chris takes a steady kind of increase into the steroid guy that we all know, and then in 7, he's much slimmer, he basically looks like a completely different person, and we all just assumed that, you know, it was Chris Redfield because he says Redfield. But facially and body-wise, it was a complete redesign, and we just said that they decided to redesign the character. What if they didn't redesign the character? What if that was a completely different person? So, I don't know, maybe it was a clone set up by Blue Umbrella. Keep in mind he comes in an Umbrella helicopter. Maybe it's not the Chris Redfield we know anyway. And maybe the Chris that we see in the trailer for 8 is the actual Chris. So there could be many reasons why the real Chris Redfield is there and goes after Mia. Keep in mind that Mia worked for the Connections, so essentially she's not innocent in any way. There are still theories out there, and I am still looking into a lot of this, about how the name Ethan W appears in a Spencer file in Resident Evil 5, saying that he's a level 9 member, Spencer being a level 10 member of Umbrella. So there is something there that maybe Chris has found out that between the two of them, there is some horrendous stuff going on there. But we don't know. But this I find really interesting, to think that maybe here we could possibly say that Ethan could be a clone of Chris, and when you see Redfield, it's actually kind of his mental breakdown, kind of picking himself back up in the fight to get back up and fight back kind of thing. I've seen it a lot of time in other films and stuff like that, where they hallucinate a younger version of themselves or something else. That could be something really, really interesting. And also you got to keep in mind that we're not ever really supposed to see Ethan's face. With that as well, another thing that backs this theory up is you have to remember that the DLC where Redfield is in Resident Evil 7 is called Not a Hero. So this could either be linking us up to Resident Evil 8, where in this trailer he's now not a hero and we don't know what's happened there, or that it's called Not a Hero because it isn't Chris. But yeah, there's a few things there. A few things have also been going around about this image right here. So this image here was shared in a developer commentary thing about Resident Evil 8 after the trailer came out. They said that this image has a lot of stuff in it. They say it's a very important image and that people really need to study it and take a deep look at it and see what they can find. Now actually I'll move this over and we'll enlarge it so we can get a better look at it. Let's just do that. So there's a few things about this image that have popped up straight away. So obviously you've got the crow's wings, the nest, this gold or brass ring here, and whatever this is inside here. So a lot of people are suggesting that this is some form of embryo or fetus or something like that. To me as well though, if you think of the Nemesis parasite, kind of see something a bit there. But a few things have come out. So, I can't do it actually. So, one here, if you were to put a ring around it here and draw in between the wings, you actually make the Umbrella logo. So there's something there, possibly. That could just be a coincidence. A few things that have come out saying, keep in mind the previous rumors about mutated child and stuff like that are apparently not true. That this could possibly be the unborn child of Ethan and Mia, or it could possibly something to do with rebirth. So if you go back to Resident Evil 5 again, when we see Spencer and you find the files about Alex Wesker and the Wesker children, he mentions that he has sent Alex out to find him the key to immortality. Not sure if it actually mentions rebirth. And we've now seen cloning involved through Resident Evil 6 with the Ada clone. So maybe the Connections were actually always an Umbrella plan. Because in the same files you find out that Spencer had already planned for the downfall of Umbrella. He kind of expected it and he had plans in place ready to go ahead. So maybe the Connections were his actual plan. The Connections were what he was going on to next. which could explain why we've seen the Umbrella logo in a few things and stuff like that. So this could also be the attempt at rebirthing Spencer. My theory, this is a theory that is completely out there, is if this does turn out to be the embryo of a Ethan Mia child, then maybe, and I'm just saying maybe, so I'll tell you what, I'll go completely out there. So let's say, so we know there's a child involved and that Mia's reading a story to it. What if it was twins? What if the one of them unfortunately died during the pregnancy and this is it? What if the DNA from Mia and Ethan, after carrying the viruses and stuff like that, was used from this to create the new virus? That could explain why Chris goes in to kill Ethan and Mia, if it is Mia, because he could find out that it's actually originated from their DNA, and the only way to stop this would be to remove to stop the DNA line, stop the bloodline kind of thing, so that the virus couldn't be continuously created. So that could explain that. It could also explain why Ethan maybe survives this attack by Chris and is taken into this village, because if this village are using his DNA, maybe they're not going to want him to die because they need him. So maybe they've rescued him from Chris after Chris has left him for dead and made sure he stays alive by bringing him to this village. A few other things out there are obviously Alex Wesker in Revelations 2 wanted to move her consciousness over and stuff like that. So there's a possibility that this could be her trying to create something that she could have implemented her consciousness into. There is a lot out there and a lot of supporting information at the moment about the woman that we see in the white dress with the big hat actually being Alex Wesker. And there were leaks previously again that were saying there were going to be two main villains, one a bloke called Alan and one Alex Wesker. So we could have Wesker back again. Well, a Wesker back. So yeah, essentially they're my big kind of theories at the moment. So we've got the hallucination theory, we've got the theory that Chris from Resident Evil 7, or Redfield, is not actually Redfield, with the possibility of Ethan maybe being a clone of Chris, and that's why we had the dramatic design changes and going back to the now older Chris. There's the possibility of Alex Wesker and the whole rebirth thing. There's the possibility of Spencer, or maybe even if it is a rebirth again, maybe Albert Wesker, because there have been rumours going around again that the character voice is involved in this. But this could maybe be Chris hallucinating and seeing these characters again. So maybe Chris is seeing Wesker because he's infected and he's hallucinating. That'd be a really good thing as well, because that could cause his actions as well. If he doesn't understand that he's infected or what's going on, then the decisions he's making may not necessarily be his own. They could be complete paranoia and stuff like that. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there, and I'll put out there as well that Dusk Golem has basically said nobody is going to guess the storyline of this game. Everyone is going to be surprised. It is an amazing story. What they've got here is a brilliant gem. So basically, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to play it. I will be starting my playthroughs of Resident Evil 0 today. Sorry that this video has been a bit muddled and stuff, but I've tried to throw it together through my excitement of all the theories running through my head and stuff like that. But yeah, I will be streaming on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook tonight, starting with Resident Evil 0, hoping to clear out every single Resident Evil canon game before Resident Evil 8 comes out, including the storyline options. This unfortunately will not include Code Veronica X because I will be playing on PC and I won't be able to stream it without using an emulator, which there's some legality issues around there. It will also not include the Outbreak files, so I'll be playing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Revelations 1 and 2. So if you'd like to see that, drop by the YouTube channel, drop a sub so you can see it on here, drop by Twitch and Facebook as well if you prefer those instead. But either way, guys, thank you for watching. Please leave me your theories below. I love reading through all these theories, and some of it's just absolutely amazing, the imagination on the scale. I'd love to just sit down and talk with the writers of Resident Evil and see where their imagination goes. One last thing, guys, if you are like me and you love your horror, you love your Resident Evil and stuff like that, can you drop me some suggestions for other Resident Evil style games in the comments? This is not necessarily a just a zombie killer or something like that, but something with such an in-depth storyline that you can't really guess where it's going. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!